This lesson is for 8-3, comparing populations for 7th graders. So just take a moment to copy down the vocabulary here at the beginning. Now that you've had the vocabulary down, please take a second to stop the video and copy down this diagram. So today we'll be working with box and whisker plots. Also, later in the lesson, we get into dot plots, but for this video, we're just focusing on box and whisker plots. You might also hear these termed as just box plots. That's also a possibility. So as you look at this diagram of a box plot, really important points here again are the vocabulary you copied down, but then also the idea that each one of these areas is 25%. So that's where we get the words quartile, median, and upper quartile. We get it from fourths, because quarter meaning fourth. So when you think about where the data is, okay, the lower half of the data, so the lower 50% of the data is from the median down to the minimum value, and the upper half of the data, or the upper 50% of the data, is from the median to the maximum value. The IQR is the middle 50%, or basically from the upper quartile to the lower quartile. So if you think about it, it's the box. That's our IQR. That's our interquartile range. So we want to compare these box and whisker plots, and so we're going to compare these using measures of center and measures of variation. Now on the right here, you see there is a reminder. Measures of center are mean, median, and mode. Okay, and then measures of variation are the IQR and the mean absolute deviation, right, or MAD. For our purposes for this right now, we're just going to be looking at the median and the IQR to compare these box and whisker plots, these data sets. So this first data set is about 2 students and their test scores over the course of several tests. You can see that they're very similar in how you would talk about the scores of the students, and so we want to just break it down a little bit more. So if we want to look at it based on the median, so the median for student A is going to be 12, so that's going to be found right here. Right, so student A, the median is 12, and then for student B, the median is also 12. Right, that's that middle line there, so the median is also 12. Then if we scroll down here just a little bit, we want to find the IQR. So the IQR is going to be Q3 minus Q1. So the IQR for this is going to be found, here's Q3 and here's Q1. So we would do the subtraction. We find the difference between those two, and we're going to be doing 16 minus 9 for this student A. So 16 minus 9. So our IQR is 7. And then for the student B, the IQR is going to be going from 6 to 16. So 16 minus 6 is 10. Sorry, bad 0. 10. All right, so those are our IQRs and those are our medians for the data set. So then we want to compare them. So we look down here at this sentence. The median for student A is blank, the median for student B. So in this case, it would be the same as, right? Or equal to, you could say. Because the medians are the same. The IQR for student A is going to be less than or smaller than the IQR for student B. Okay, now we have to ask the question, which data set is more likely to contain a value of 10? So this is an interesting question. So more likely to contain a value of 10. So 10 is right here. And we could actually ask either of these, or we could say either one could contain it. But if you think about the idea that there's 25% in these boxes, there's 25% here, there's 25% here. So the more likely chance that a 10 is going to appear would be in student A, because that is going to be 25% of our amount. Okay, and I'm going to have to finish on the next video, so I'll get there in just a second.